The introduction, the great financial divide. Most people spend their entire lives working for money, but they never stop to ask, what is money and how does it actually work? We were taught to go to school, get good grades, and find a secure job. But that is the blueprint for the rat race. Welcome back to Fluent Minds. In this masterclass, we are dismantling the world's most successful illusion, the myth of job security and the middle-class trap. Based on the timeless wisdom of Rich Dad Poor Dad, we are going to teach you the language of the wealthy, a language that is never spoken in classrooms. We are moving beyond saving pennies to understanding how to build a money-printing machine. Our blueprint is built on the pillars of financial intelligence. First, financial literacy, the difference between assets and liabilities. Second, the Cashflow Quadrant, moving from labor to capital. Third, the psychology of wealth, why your mindset is your greatest asset. It's time to stop working for a paycheck and start making your paychecks work for you. Volume 1. The definition of assets versus liabilities, the arithmetic of wealth. In the first volume of our financial architecture, we must redefine your entire reality using one simple rule. Robert Kiyosaki's most profound lesson is that most people are financially illiterate because they don't know the true definition of an asset. The high IQ individual knows that an asset is not something you own. It is something that puts money in your pocket whether you work or not. Conversely, a liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. Most of the middle class are struggling because they spend their lives buying liabilities that they think are assets. The most dangerous example? Your house. If your house is taking money out for taxes, maintenance, and interest, it is a liability. Image showing a cash flow diagram. Money flowing into the pocket, asset, versus money flowing out, liability. To keep your financial mind young and sharp, you must master the cash flow statement. The poor focus on their income, the paycheck, while the rich focus on their asset column. The secret to wealth is not how much you make, but how much you keep and how hard that money works for you. If you want to escape the rat race, your mission is simple. Acquire assets that generate cash flow until that cash flow covers your living expenses. At that point, you are no longer a slave to a job. You are financially sovereign. Volume 2. The Rat Race and the Psychology of Fear. Why Smart People Stay Poor. In the second volume of our financial architecture, we must address the mental prison that keeps 90% of the population trapped, the rat race. Robert Kiyosaki explains that most people are driven by two primary emotions, fear and greed. The fear of not being able to pay bills forces you to work harder at a job you often hate. Then once the paycheck arrives, greed, or the desire for comfort, pushes you to spend that money on short-term pleasures or status symbols. This creates a never-ending cycle. Work, get paid, pay bills, spend, run out of money, repeat. The high IQ individual understands that the rat race is a psychological trap designed for those who lack financial emotional intelligence. Most people look for a higher salary to solve their money problems, but a higher salary only leads to higher expenses, a phenomenon known as lifestyle creep. To master wealth, you must learn to use your emotions to think rather than thinking with your emotions. The rich don't work for money to feel safe. They use money to buy their freedom. If you want to escape the wheel, you must stop looking for a secure job and start looking for secure assets. True security doesn't come from a boss. It comes from a system that you control. Volume 3. The History of Taxes and the Power of Corporations. Playing the Rules of the Rich. In the third volume of our financial architecture, we dive into the invisible rules of money. Robert Kiyosaki highlights a historical truth that most people ignore. Originally, taxes were created to tax only the rich. However, over time, the government's appetite for money grew, and the burden shifted to the middle class. The high IQ individual understands that income tax is essentially a penalty for those who work for money. The secret of the rich dad lies in understanding the legal structure of a corporation. A corporation is not a building or a group of people. It is merely a file of legal documents that creates a separate entity. This entity allows the wealthy to play the game of money differently. The employee's way, earn, get taxed, spend what is left. The corporate way, earn, spend, expenses, get taxed on what is left. Image showing the financial flow, employee, tax first, versus corporation, expenses first. By owning a corporation, The rich can pay for many of their life's expenses, travel, meals, cars, and equipment, using pre-tax dollars. They only pay taxes on the profit that remains. This single legal hack saves them millions over a lifetime. To master wealth is to realize that you don't need to be rich to start a corporation. You start a corporation to become and stay rich. Financial intelligence is 10% math and 90% understanding the law and how to use it to protect your cash flow from the tax man. Volume 4. The Rich Invent Money, Developing Your Financial Sight. In the 4th volume of our financial architecture, we explore the most powerful asset you possess, your mind. Robert Kiyosaki states that in the real world, it's not the smart who get ahead but the bold. Most people wait for the perfect opportunity, or a safe investment, to land in their lap. The rich, however, understand that money is not real, it is an agreement. They don't work for money, they invent it. The high IQ individual develops what we call financial sight. This is the ability to see opportunities that others miss because they are too busy looking for a job. Inventing money means using your financial intelligence to find an opportunity that everyone else has missed, finding a distressed property, a struggling business, or an untapped market. Raise the money, knowing how to use other people's money, OPM, instead of your own savings. Organize smart people, hiring people who are smarter than you in specific technical fields, law, accounting, engineering, to execute your vision. Image showing a person looking through a financial intelligence lens, seeing gold mines where others see ruins. To master wealth is to realize that great opportunities are not seen with your eyes. They are seen with your mind. Most people stay poor because they only know one way to make money, trading time for a paycheck. The Rich Dad teaches that the more you use your mind to solve problems for others, the more money you invent. You are not limited by your bank account. You are limited only by your financial creativity. If you want to be rich, stop asking for a job and start asking, what problem can I solve that others are too afraid to touch? Volume 5. Work to learn, don't work for money, the generalist advantage. In the 5th volume of our financial architecture, we challenge the fundamental goal of your career. In Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki presents a radical idea. The more specialized you become, the more you are trapped. Most people follow the academic path of becoming highly specialized, doctors, lawyers, or engineers. While these professions earn high incomes, they often lack the breadth of knowledge to ever own the system they work for. They become high-paid slaves to their specialization. The high IQ individual understands the learning-to-earning ratio. When you are young, you should seek jobs for what you can learn, not what you can earn. The Rich Dad's philosophy is to know a little about a lot. To build an empire, you need to understand the 4 pillars of financial intelligence. Accounting, understanding the story behind the numbers. Investing, the science of money making money. Understanding markets, the science of supply and demand. The law, how to use corporations and taxes to your advantage. Image showing a specialist stuck in a narrow tunnel versus a generalist overlooking the entire landscape. To master wealth is to become a system architect. Instead of working to perfect one skill, you work to understand how different skills, sales, marketing, law, and finance, fit together. This is why the rich hire specialists. If you are a specialist, you have one skill to sell. If you are a generalist with financial intelligence, you can own the company that hires thousands of specialists. Remember, the most important specialized skill for the wealthy is cash flow management and people management. Everything else can be hired. Volume 6. Overcoming Obstacles, the 5 Mental Barriers to Wealth. In the 6th volume of our financial architecture, we address the human element. Having financial literacy is the engine, but if you have your foot on the brake, you will never move. Robert Kiyosaki identifies 5 obstacles that prevent even the most educated people from achieving financial sovereignty. Fear of losing money. The primary reason people stay poor is that the pain of losing money is greater than the joy of being rich. The Rich Dad says, everyone wants to go to heaven, but no one wants to die. To be a winner, you must accept that losing is part of the process. Cynicism, the sky is falling syndrome. Cynics criticize, while winners analyze. The world is full of little chickens, who will tell you why an investment won't work. The high IQ individual ignores the noise and looks for the exit strategy. Laziness, The busy trap. Most people are busy being busy to avoid the hard work of thinking about their finances. This is active laziness. The cure? A little bit of greed, asking yourself, what's in it for me if I'm free? Bad habits. Our lives are a reflection of our habits, not our education. The poor pay everyone else, landlord, government, credit card, before they pay themselves. The rich pay themselves first. Arrogance, ego. Ego is intelligence plus ignorance. Many people use arrogance to hide what they don't know. Whenever you are ignorant in a subject, start by hiring an expert or buying a book. Don't bluff your way through money. Image showing 5 monsters: fear, cynicism, laziness, habits, and ego blocking the path to a golden gate. The elite achiever understands that financial intelligence is emotional intelligence. It is the ability to stay rational when the market is panicking and to stay disciplined when everyone else is spending. To master wealth is to realize that your biggest enemy isn't the economy or the government, it is the person looking back at you in the mirror. You don't manage money, you manage yourself. Volume 7. Getting Started, the 10 Steps to Awaken Your Financial Genius. In the 7th volume of our architecture, we move from theory to execution. Knowing that you need assets is one thing. Knowing how to start from zero is another. Robert Kiyosaki outlines 10 specific steps to develop your financial muscle. We will focus on the most critical pillars for the Fluent Mind's achiever. Find a reason greater than reality. The power of purpose. Wealth is hard. If you don't have a deep why, like the desire for total freedom or the need to provide a legacy, the reality of the struggle will wear you down. Make daily choices. The power of choice. Every dollar in your hand is a vote for your future. You choose to be rich, poor, or middle class every time you spend. Invest in your education first. Your mind is your only true asset. Choose friends carefully. The power of association. This is not about being elitist. It's about information. The rich talk about money, opportunities, and ideas. The poor talk about people and problems. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Master a formula, then learn a new one. The power of rapid learning. Most people learn one way to make money, a job, and stick to it for 40 years. The high IQ individual masters a formula, like real estate or stock dividends, and once it's automated, they move to the next. Image showing a staircase of 10 steps leading to financial sovereignty, with each step representing a specific power: choice, association, learning, etc. Pay yourself first. The power of self-discipline. If you cannot control your cash flow, you cannot be rich. Even if you have debt, pay your asset column first. The pressure of being short on bills will force your financial genius to find creative ways to make more money. This is how you grow. To master the start of your journey is to realize that action always beats inaction. You don't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step. You just need to decide that staying where you are is no longer an option. Financial genius is 10% talent and 90% discipline. Volume 8. The Power of Focus versus Diversification. Why Winners Don't Spread. In the 8th volume of our financial architecture, we challenge the standard advice given by most financial planners: diversification. While the middle-class poor dad says, play it safe and diversify, the rich dad says, focus. The high IQ individual understands that diversification is a defensive strategy. It is designed to protect you from total loss, but it also prevents you from achieving massive wealth. If you spread your money across 20 different small pots, you are essentially saying, I don't know enough about any of these to bet on them. Image showing 2 contrasting investment styles: a scattered map diversification versus a laser beam hitting a single point focus. The elite achiever follows the FOCUS acronym. Follow one course until successful. Instead of being average in 10 things, they become extraordinary in one. They find a niche, whether it's a specific type of real estate, a tech sector, or a business model, and they learn it so deeply that they can see the risks and rewards that others are blind to. To master wealth is to realize that putting all your eggs in one basket and watching that basket like a hawk is how fortunes are built. Diversification is for people who are afraid to lose. Focus is for people who are determined to win. You don't need dozens of okay investments. You only need 3 or 4 home runs in a lifetime to become financially sovereign. Volume 9. The Magic of OPM. Using other people's money as a lever. In the 9th volume of our financial architecture, we explore the most controversial tool in the rich dad's arsenal: debt. To the poor dad, debt is a four-letter word to be avoided at all costs. But to the rich dad, debt is a leverage tool. The high IQ individual understands the critical distinction between bad debt and good debt. Bad debt: this is debt that you have to pay for. Credit cards, car loans, and personal loans for vacations. This debt drains your cash flow and makes you a slave to the lender. Good debt: this is debt that someone else pays for. When you use a bank loan to buy a rental property, the tenant pays the mortgage, the taxes, and the insurance, and you keep the remaining cash flow. Image showing a financial lever: a small amount of your money, down payment, moving a massive asset using a bank loan leverage. The elite achiever understands the concept of OPM, other people's money. While the middle class spends decades saving to buy an asset, the rich use leverage to acquire it today. This allows them to achieve a much higher ROI, return on investment. Think of it this way: if you buy a $100,000 property with your own cash, and it nets $10,000 a year, your return is 10%. But if you use $20,000 of your money and $80,000 of the bank's money, good debt, and it still nets $5,000 after paying the loan, your return is 25%. You have used a lever to more than double your wealth building speed. To master wealth is to stop being afraid of debt and start becoming a master of risk management. You don't run from the bank, you use the bank to fund your freedom. Volume 10. The Final Wealth Formula, your 90-day financial sovereignty protocol. We have reached the apex of our financial architecture. We have learned that money is not a goal, but a result of your financial intelligence. To exit the rat race and enter the fast track, you must adopt the Wealth OS operating system, built on 4 definitive pillars. First, the sacred 10% rule. It doesn't matter how much you earn. What matters is how much you intercept before anyone else sees it. The wealthy pay themselves first. This amount is not for saving, it is attack capital. Treat this money as your army, soldiers you send into the field to capture more territory, more money, for you. Second, the liability audit. For the next 90 days, you must declare war on liabilities disguised as assets. For every dollar that leaves your pocket, ask, is this buying me future freedom, or is it chaining me further to my desk? Remember, luxury should be bought with asset profits, not with the sweat of your brow. Third, become an asset hunter. Stop looking for a second job, and start looking for your first asset. Whether it's a side business, dividend-paying stocks, or a small piece of real estate, your mission is to build your asset column, piece by piece, until your passive income exceeds your basic living expenses. Fourth, invest in the ultimate asset, your financial IQ. The rich never stop learning because they know that information is what creates money. Read balance sheets, understand tax laws, and study market trends. True wealth is what stays in your head even if you lose everything in your pocket. The difference between you and a wealthy individual is not the amount of money in your bank account, it is your point of view. The rich see a world of investment opportunities, the poor see a world of bills to be paid. You now have the language, the logic, and the tools. It is time to leave the rat race and take your place as the architect of your own wealth. Don't work for money. Make money work for you. Stay sovereign.